Hi there, Year 8. It's now week 1 of Spring 2 and it's lesson 1. So this half term we are looking at a different topic. Last half term we were looking at holidays. Now we're looking at food and healthy eating, that sort of thing. So as a starter, or before you start, please, can you get the date and the title written down? So the title is ¿Qué desayunas? So escribe el título, ¿Qué desayunas? Luego escribid la fecha, so write the date. You'll have to work out what the date is, depending on when you're doing this lesson. Please write the date, escribe la fecha y subrayad con una regla. So underline it with a ruler, please. Once you've done that, please, para empezar, is as a starter, empareja las palabras, so match up the words. Aquí tenemos las palabras en español, 1 a 9, y aquí en inglés. But they're not in the right order. So 3 minutes, please, to write out the words here on the left-hand side and then find the equivalent over here in English. Maybe 4 minutes. Off you go. Pause the video, 4 minutes, restart it when you've done it. Gracias. Okay, so I'm guessing you've now restarted, and this is what you should have found. We've got nunca. So you can repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. Nunca is never. A mediodía, at midday. Now, I've spotted a mistake here and I'm going to correct it because otherwise you will write that down incorrectly. So if you wrote it down without an accent, you do need an accent on mediodía. Apologies for that. So a mediodía, at midday. Después de las 9, after 9 o'clock. Después de is after. Siempre, always. Generalmente, generally. Normalmente, normally. Now look at those words. They both end in ly in English because they're adverbs. So like quickly, slowly, generally, normally. They describe a verb. That's what adverbs do. And very often in English they end in ly. And normally in Spanish they end in mente. A veces is sometimes. De vez en cuando, from time to time. Todo el tiempo is all the time. Very similar to siempre, always. Okay, so make sure you have those written down, please, in Spanish and in English. Pause the video while you do that and move on when you're ready. Okay, so I'm assuming you're moving on now. These are the objectives for this week. So we're going to look at meals, meal times, foods that you eat, and new time indications. So we've just seen those as a starter, the frequency expressions and when something happens. We're going to apply that vocab by doing some writing. We've got readings and listenings as well. And at the end of the week, we will set targets on how to improve further. Okay, so aquí tenemos. Primero, desayuno. I've got it at the red at the end there because that's indicating that it's the I form of the verb. It's the present tense. Desayuno. A las 8, desayuno cereales. So here we are. The verb is desayuno. I eat for breakfast. So you don't need to have como desayuno, you just have desayuno. It's a verb in itself. I breakfast on cereals, or I eat for breakfast. Como is to eat, but it's also in Spanish to eat for lunch. So como a mediodía, I have lunch at midday. Meriendo. Now meriendo is what you would do at, say, 4 o'clock after you've finished school. Sorry, my cat is making an appearance. After you've finished school and you've gone home and you've raided the biscuit tin and you have a snack. So there's some biscuits and milk. So meriendas I have a snack. And finalmente tenemos ceno. Well, ceno is what you would do at 7 o'clock or maybe earlier, whenever you have dinner or supper. Okay, so I have for dinner is ceno. Okay, so we have 4 new verbs here. Desayuno, como, meriendo, and ceno. Those are verbs, not nouns. Okay, now, what verbs are, excuse me, I'm going to have to move the cat. What verbs are being used here? And what are the infinitives? This is what I would like you to work out, please. I've given you the O ending, so that's saying what they are in I form. What are the rest of the parts of the verb? Desayuno, como, meriendo, and ceno. I've given you this one because it's a stem changing verb. So you need to work out what's the infinitive, what that means in English. Here's the present tense. I'd like you to add in the preterite. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this, please. So very quickly draw the table, think about what the infinitives are going to be and what the preterite is. Off you go. Okay, so I'm assuming you have now had a go at this. 4 minutes might be a bit quick, but hopefully you've got most of this done. If you needed longer, that's fine. But I'm assuming you're starting the video now because you've now worked it out. So let's have a look. Verb practice. So infinitive. Desayunar is the infinitive. We have the present tense here. Desayuno. Desayunar is the infinitive. To have breakfast. Therefore, it's an AR verb. So using the preterite tense that we did last half term, you should be able to work out, or you can work out from your verb tables, that the preterite I had for breakfast would be desayuné. Comer is the infinitive of como. You know that one. That's a really frequently used verb. To eat, to have lunch. It's one of the first ones we learn, comer. The preterite tense, because it's an ER verb, is comí with an accent. Merendar, I gave you that because you might have got confused. It is a stem changing verb. The E there, the second E changes to IE in the present tense. That doesn't happen in the preterite. So you get merendé. Okay, you take off the AR, you add the preterite tense ending for the I, for the yo form, merendé, I had a snack. Cenar is to have dinner. Ceno, you've already seen, is I have dinner. It's an AR verb. So again, it's going to be cené. All right, so you need to get in the habit of this because what you're doing now is being able to use confidently 3 tenses. We've learned and practiced present, near future, and preterite now. So going on through this, the rest of this term and into the summer term, you should be really confident using all 3 tenses. Okay, so this is the new vocabulary you need to know. ¿Qué desayunas? What do you have for breakfast? Desayuno. Cereales, tostadas, magdalenas. Now, magdalenas, the picture there is of like cupcakes, but magdalenas are those very plain cakes that you would get, or they're called madeleine. That's actually the French word for them. In Spanish, they're magdalenas. And I don't think we have a particular word in English. We would call them madeleines probably. And they're just very plain cakes that you get quite often a sort of shell shape is the mold that they're cooked in. And if you live in Spain and in France as well, you'd probably have those in the morning with milky coffee and dunk them in your milky coffee. That's a good, sort of quite a usual breakfast. Okay, so ¿qué comes? Is what do you have for lunch? Como. Carne con verduras. Meat with vegetables. Pizza. Patatas fritas. Okay, so remember chips, patatas fritas. They can also be crisps if you buy, it depends where you're buying them. If you ask them in a restaurant, if you say quiero patatas fritas, in a restaurant you would get chips. If you go into a supermarket and say quiero patatas fritas, you'd get given a bag of crisps. Okay, meriendo. ¿Qué meriendas? What do you have for a snack? Meriendo, galletas, biscuits. Fruta. Or un bocadillo. So you might have for a snack, you might have biscuits, you might have a sandwich, you might have fruit. Galletas, un bocadillo, or fruta. Notice there you've got un bocadillo because it's a sandwich. You over here, you could just say merienda galletas, I have biscuits. Merienda fruta, I have fruit for a snack. ¿Qué cenas? What do you have for dinner? Ceno. Pollo, chicken. Pasta, obviously pasta. Pescado con ensalada. So fish with salad. Pescado con ensalada. Okay, and que bebes? So we've got another verb here. Beber is obviously to drink. Que bebes, what do you drink? Bebo. Colacao. So that's like chocolate milk. very popular in Spain, colacao. Té, you drink tea. Con limón, this one's té con limón, it's got lemon with it. Aquí tenemos zumo, zumo de naranja. So zumo is the juice, and then it can be of several things. It could be de naranja, de manzana, which is apple juice, de pera, pear juice, de melocotón, peach, whatever you want. No bebo nada, I don't drink anything. Or agua. So bebo agua, bebo té, bebo zumo, bebo colacao, no bebo nada. Right? So different vocabulary there for the drinks. So far then we have looked at, let's go back for a second, we have just looked at, and so far in the lesson we've looked at frequency expressions and time indicators. We have done a recap of verbs in the present and the preterite tense, just to keep your brains in gear so you don't forget the preterite. Then we've looked at vocabulary for what you eat and drink at different meals. So what I'd like you to do now is write the vocabulary out and make sure that you understand all of these. So we've got cereales, magdalenas, tostadas, and so on. In fact, I'm going to go through this so you can hear them pronounced and you can practice. So cereales, magdalenas, tostadas, carne, pizza, patatas fritas, verduras, galletas. Remember that yes sound in the middle with the two L's. Galletas, fruta, un bocadillo, pollo, pasta, pescado, ensalada, zumo, zumo de naranja o zumo de manzana, té, agua y colacao. So I've put in the apple juice here as well as the orange juice. So what you need to do, please, is to write them out and then put the English with them. So all of that needs to be done. You need to have a full list of 18 words in Spanish and then in English. So pause the video here, please, and write all that down. If you need to go back to check the meaning, then do. But I'll just run through them very quickly when you restart the video. Okay, so I'm assuming you have now done that. And I just want to, sorry, I didn't mean to click that. Hold on, let's go back. We're just going to go through it again. So cereales is cereal. Magdalenas, I don't know if you can just little, they're cakes, but whether it doesn't translate very well. Tostadas is toast. Carne, meat. Pizza is just exactly what it says. Patatas fritas, chips. Verduras, vegetables. Galletas, biscuits. Fruta is fruit. Un bocadillo is a sandwich. Pollo is chicken. Pasta is pasta. Pescado is fish. Ensalada, salad. Orange juice, apple juice. Té is tea. Agua is water. Colacao is chocolate milk. Okay, so once you have written all that down and you've got it in Spanish and in English, then just a recap of what we're doing this week. You're looking at vocab about meals, new time indications, and we're going to do some writing and listening tomorrow in lesson 2. Thank you very much indeed, year 8. That's the end of lesson 1.